What's going on, everyone? Happy Thursday to everyone. Hopefully everyone is doing well, staying safe, healthy. If you had to take a COVID test, hopefully you have tested negative. If you did test positive, I hope you have a full and speedy recovery with no long COVID issues. It is time now for the Thursday edition of the Pandemic Update for Thursday, November 30th, 2023. If you're new to my channel, hey, welcome to my channel. This is where we do the daily pandemic update on not only just COVID, but any other virus or illness that is out there and could be a threat to you. So if at the end of this video you learn anything, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel down below. Today we have to start off with the mysterious pneumonia, or as it's being called. It's being called a couple different things now. But first off, mysterious pneumonia cases in Europe increase 25%. China opens clinics to deal with growing surge. Officials have not been able to determine what is causing the illness in the Netherlands. Now let's move over to Denmark and get this. Now Denmark battles surge in same type of, quote, they're calling it white lung syndrome. Pneumonia sparking fears in China after Netherlands warned of alarming spike in cases. So this is not good whatsoever. It's sounding almost a little similar to what we were hearing at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, where we would see these images, whether it be news stories, maybe it was on Twitter, wherever, of chest x-rays, and it was just covered with white congestion in the lungs, and the lungs were just white. Quote, notice how they're calling it white lung syndrome, so yes, this is not good. Continuing on now, it doesn't stop there. Remember yesterday we talked about Washington, D.C., and if you didn't see yesterday's video, go check it out. We talked about how D.C. is now dealing with this. Well, there's more in the United States. Just outside of Cincinnati, Ohio, in Warren County, Ohio, there's now an outbreak of pediatric pneumonia. Warren County, Ohio, more children are getting sick with pneumonia in Warren County as cases continue to rise, according to health department officials. And he's saying here that after 142 juveniles have been diagnosed with the respiratory disease since August. So, yes, it's starting to rise in Ohio as well. All right, now moving on to this. Speaking of the Midwest, let's go a little bit deeper into the Midwest. Talked about Ohio, let's go a little bit deeper. Let's talk about COVID now. Per CDC's latest NHSN figures, similar to trends we have seen in wastewater and ERs, COVID-19 is continuing to surge highest in Midwest nursing homes. And take a look at this graphic here. You can see here, there is a huge increase right now that is ongoing in the nursing homes in the Midwest. This is not good. Confirmed COVID-19 cases among residents and rate per 1,000 weeks in nursing homes. And yes, it's just not good. It's rapidly rising, and a part of that is because we have a new variant, BA 2.86.1, with that JN.1. So yes, take a look here. This is the growth advantage. You can see there are a ton of different variants. I'm not going to sit here and count how many there are, but what I can show you is this. You're seeing this purple line that really sticks out to you here on the left. It's like this pinkish purple color. We'll almost say magenta or whatever. Take a look at that. Look what's right under it. BA 2.861. It shows here the growth advantage rate. It's higher than all of the other variants. So when we go to the CDC variant page, which we will do very shortly, eventually as time goes on, we're going to see the number of those variants. All these other little variants are going to start to drop off. Why? Because BA 2.86.1, which includes JN.1, just grows that fast. So yes, it really is concerning. Let's take a look at air qualities, and you'll notice not much has changed with air qualities, though we do take note the Gulf Coast, still, Florida Panhandle, some of these areas are still dealing with a little bit of poor air qualities, really bad air qualities in the West today. I'm assuming that's because it's that time of year where people use fireplaces, but this looks even worse than yesterday. We're also seeing this in the Northeast as well. Some of that could be because, hey, it's fireplace season. It's cold weather season. All right, let's do one last look for the season. We're going to have to refresh this at heat-related illnesses. I think we're going to be retiring this until next year. I think it's just safe to say some of these places in the South are just always going to be showing up with this. And this didn't even update this week. Florida, what's going on? You're still seeing a lot of heat-related illnesses. A few isolated places across the rest of the country, but nothing too terrible. Let's take a look at the positivity rate from Walgreens this week, and we will see the national positivity rate is 28.3%. That was up 0.4%. Testing was down this week. Now let's move on over to this. Here's the CDC variants. As you can see, there are a ton of variants. There's a ton that are just only 0.1%. And there's probably at least a dozen that are below 1%. When we take a look at the top variant, right now it's HV.1 at 31.7%, EG.5 at 13.1%. Then comes BA 2.86, which is at 8.8%. I am expecting BA 2.86 will fully have taken over probably before the new year. It's rapidly rising. You saw the growth advantage. I'm going to show you that again. Here it is here on the left. The growth advantage is huge. So that's just going to continue to go up. All right, taking a look here at hospital admissions. And you can see here, there's a lot of places in the orange and the brighter shades of orange. There's two shades of orange. One, substantial increases. And yes, substantial increases in hospitalizations. They're happening in every region of the United States. Not happening in every county, but each region, each state has areas where there are now moderate to substantial hospitalization increases for COVID-19. This is just COVID, my friends. It doesn't include RSV, pneumonia, influenza. So the hospitals they're getting hit pretty hard right now, and it's only going to get worse when we take a look at wastewater. Places that have high wastewater, really high levels. There's 121 sites coming up with that number. So, yeah, that's not good. And when we take a look here, take a look at places that have very high wastewater. Minnesota, Iowa, Utah, Virginia, Vermont. And then you have some, Kansas as well. There's quite a few states. Ohio, Pennsylvania's moderate. You come out to California, that's moderate at this time. So that is not good. And also not good, EMS calls in Philadelphia. They're slowly starting to go up. 770 were reported for Wednesday. Let's do a live look in on what's going on in the suburbs right now. And yeah, I'm seeing a lot of cardiac calls. And that's been the case all day. And look at this one right here. Ooh, that's the king of the crop, the worst one. One of the worst calls you can see. Cardiac arrest. The only thing that's worse than that is dead on arrival, and we don't like seeing that either. Taking a look at Chester County, Pennsylvania. Yeah, there's some calls right now, but not as busy as it was, say, an hour ago. New Jersey, 507 people now in the hospital. And let's take a look at the number in ventilators, 15, ICU, 37. Number in the ICU actually dropped today. Discharges, 92. And drum roll, please. This is not good. New York State. Yep, you're seeing that number correctly. 3,565 new cases reported in the last 24 hours, including reinfections and maybe some at-home tests. Maybe, maybe not. Hospitalizations in New York State, they continue to go up. 1,442. You know what? Let's also take a look at New York City today. What is going on in New York City? Let's zoom this in. Yep, New York City's rising as well. We have to do it one more time. Here we go. New York City is also rising overall from last week. Right now, New York City is at 460. Down ever so slightly from yesterday. That's a good thing. I wish we could still see what the ICU numbers were in New York State. All right, Texas. Newly confirmed COVID-19 cases, as reported yesterday, they are down by 2,711. 7,793 versus 10,504. Number of deaths are up by 745 versus 38. Hospitalizations down by 33. 960 versus 993. LA, Los Angeles. Positivity rate, it's going up. Hospitalizations, yes, they're going up. They're actually starting to go up faster now. Look at that. Yeah, that's not good. Chicago, hospitalizations. 21 people hospitalized for COVID in Chicago. That's going up. Hospital bed use is up. Emergency department visits are up. However, cases are down. I don't know if that's because there's less testing. Not sure. Deaths are down right now. I mean, that's good. Vaccinations are down as well, and that's not something we like to see go down. We want to see more people get vaccinated. And if you're wondering, in Chicago, it says here 24.2% have the updated booster. All right, moving on now, let's go to Massachusetts. 13.3% of all emergency department visits were for respiratory viruses. Coming over to the state of Washington now, some bad news there. COVID emergency department visits, that's the ones over here on the left, they're now up by 8%. Influenza, up by 43%, and RSV is up by 17%. Hospital admissions for COVID are down 6%. That's not going to hold. Influenza's up 33%, RSV up 30%. The number of people in the ICU for COVID is 24, and number of influenza is still less than 10. And finally, we come over here to Colorado, which Colorado today has 267 people in the hospital for COVID on their most recent update. Alrighty, folks, that does it for today's pandemic update. We might have another video for you later on today, kind of a public service announcement type thing, something I have been seeing out in the public that I'm really not happy about. See if you can kind of guess what that is. I'm going to leave you hanging till later on. That will come out this evening at some point. And, yep, until I see you then, hopefully everyone stays safe. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel down below. If you know anyone that needs to see this content, by all means, share this with them. Maybe you just have a comment. Maybe you're seeing something that's going on in your area that's bothering you. Let me know down below. And who knows, maybe I'll do a video on that topic. You never know. I can be random sometimes. Alrighty, I will see you guys later on again today. Until I see you again next time, stay safe, everyone, and have a fantastic Thursday. Thanks for watching.